Hello and welcome to Wyoming Sage. In honor of St. Patrick's Day and honoring my Irish ancestors, I'm going to be sharing with you the most rich and flavorful soda bread recipe. It is so quick and so simple, it's no wonder that the Irish have made it a staple in their kitchen for over a century. For this recipe, we're going to use 1 cup of all-purpose flour and 1 cup of fresh milled whole wheat flour, 1 teaspoon of salt to enhance the flavor, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And just give it a good mix. I like to use my hand so I can crush the pieces of baking soda nice and fine. What makes a traditional Irish soda bread is the buttermilk and the soda. The acidity of the buttermilk mixed with the soda is what elevates and gives the bread its rise. What makes today's recipe so rich and flavorful is the butter. So today we're using half a cup of chilled butter chopped in cubes. Use this handy tool to incorporate the butter. I'm going to crush the butter down to about pea-sized pieces. And after it's just about incorporated, you can stick your fingers in here and really crumble that butter down even more. Nothing wrong with getting your hands messy. Okay. Today we're going to add about a half a cup of raisins. You can soak them in warm water for about 30 minutes, or you can put it in the microwave for 1 minute to expedite the process. Other traditional recipes also used currants. And 1 cup of buttermilk. I love adding buttermilk to my quick bread recipes. Biscuits and pancakes, it makes them so moist and so rich. Like I said before, since buttermilk is a key ingredient in soda bread, don't skip out on the buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you could use 1 cup of regular milk with a teaspoon of vinegar or lemon and let that sit for a while until the milk starts to sour and even curdle a little bit. Gonna add my raisins with the buttermilk. I've drained the water and squoze some of the water out, and I'm gonna start mixing with a spoon just until it starts to come together. And I'm gonna get in there with my hands. This dough is especially wet, so I'm just gonna grab some more flour, sprinkle that on, get some on my hands, and start really working this together. Working it in. You really don't want to work the dough too much. I want it to hold some of that buttery, flaky goodness. So we're not really going to knead the dough, we're just going to work it together. And since this is just really a rustic loaf, there's no need to be too perfect here. I've got my baking sheet ready here with a piece of parchment. I'm going to put my loaf down on it here. It wouldn't really be a traditional Irish sourdough bread without giving it a blessing first. So we're gonna make the traditional cross here. I'm really gonna give it a nice deep cut, about a 1 inch deep. This is the Holy Cross. It's very traditional in Ireland. Give your bread a blessing with a cross. And in good Irish tradition, it's why it's to poke your bread and release the fairies. Okay, now that our soda bread is ready, I'm gonna put it into the oven at 400 degrees for about 40 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. You want it to have a nice golden brown color to it. It's gonna have risen. It'll be beautiful. The Irish really did put together a very quick and simple bread. It was very normal for people to make bread daily, and the Irish really did find a way to make bread quick and simple and easy. I imagine that the farmer's wife used whatever she had on hand, whether it was fresh farmed eggs or milk that had gone sour. Of course, today we're using buttermilk. And when baking soda came out in the 1830s, that made bread making even quicker, even more simple, not waiting for rise times, and they were able to have fresh bread daily. Your soda bread is done when it's a beautiful golden brown color. You can leave it on the counter to rest and cool for at least 30 minutes before cutting into it. Thanks so much for joining me here today. You can find a printout of this recipe on wyomingsage.com, along with other delicious quick bread recipes. You'll find Mama's cheesy biscuits on there, which actually inspired my recipe for this Irish soda bread. It's very close. Make sure to come back each week for a new video on restoring home, family, and spirit, and I'll catch you next time on Wyoming Sage. Love you lots!